Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss about another important digestive glands. In the previous classes, we discussed about the what you called the salivary glands, gastric glands, like that, up to what you called peptic cells, zymogen cells, goblet, parietal or oxyntic cells, gastrointrinsic factor. Okay, salivary glands, parotid, sublingual, submaxillary, like that, we discussed, right? Now, one more important gastric gland, that is liver. Today we are going to discuss about the gastric gland liver. It is the largest gland. What is this one? It's the largest gland in the body. It is called largest gland in the body. It is situated in the upper right side of the abdominal cavity. It is situated where? Upper right side of the abdominal cavity. Largest gland. You know very well this is a liver. You are studying from 6th 7th class onwards about liver. But you should have to give more information. You should have to learn more information about the liver, right? So it's the largest gland. It is located upper right side of the abdominal cavity, just below the diaphragm. Where it is present, just below the diaphragm. The liver consists of two major left and right lobes and two minor lobes. Okay, two major left and right lobes and two minor lobes. Major lobes, minor lobes. Major lobes, minor lobes. Two major left and right lobes, two minor lobes are there. The next, the lobes are, these lobes are, okay, very important. These lobes are connected with which one? Diaphragm is there or not? Connected with the diaphragm. Next, each lobules, okay, each lobe has many hepatic lobules. Each lobe again have small lobules, hepatic lobules. The hepatic lobules only called functional unit of the liver. It is called the hepatic lobules are only have functional unit of the liver. These lobules, okay, this is a very important. The hepatic lobules and is covered by a thin connective tissue sheath. These hepatic lobules are there or not? These lobules are covered by a thin connective tissue sheath called Glissen's capsule. Very important neat bit. What we call this is Glissen's capsule. It is a neat bit. Okay, what is that? The connective tissue sheath of the hepatic lobules is called what we called Glissen's capsule. Glissen's capsule. So hepatic cells. What will happen? The hepatic cells are liver cells. Liver cells are hepatic cells are there or not? They will be secretes. You know very well, bile, which is stored and concentrated in a thin muscular sac called the gallbladder. Thin muscular sac is called what you call that is gallbladder. So the duct of gallbladder. This is also important neat bit. So what is the duct of gallbladder? Cystic duct along with the hepatic duct, from the liver. Hepatic duct from where? Liver forms a common bile duct. Forms which one? Common bile duct. The bile duct. Next, the bile duct passes downwards. The bile duct passes downwards and joins with the main pancreatic duct to form a common duct called what you call hepatopancreatic duct. Hepatopancreatic duct, that opening the hepatopancreatic duct open into the, you know very well, to the duodenum. There is guarded by one sphincter. Where the hepatopancreatic duct open into the duodenum, there one sphincter will be there, which allows the what you call little movements only. Sphincter, you know very well, functions. What is that movement? Movement little bit, not at a time full, not a systematic movement of materials, right? The sphincter functions systematic movements of materials to one part to another part. So here the pancreatic hepatopancreatic duct where opening to the duodenum is guarded by one important sphincter. That sphincter is called, this is a neat bit, sphincter of Ardi. Sphincter of Ardi is there. Liver has, okay, sphincter of Ardi is there. Very important bit. Liver has high power of regeneration. So any cell is damaged or any cell is disturbed, okay, any cell is damaged or any cell is disturbed, immediately the liver can, what will do, the liver can produce new cells, means regeneration power is more in the what you call livers. Okay, the liver have high power of regeneration. The liver has high power of which one? Regeneration. And liver cells are replaced by new ones every 3 to 4 weeks. So high power of regeneration, and liver cells are replaced by new ones every 3 to 4 weeks. So every 3 to 4 weeks the liver cells are replaced, old cells are replaced with new cells. Such a great regeneration power is there in the liver cells. Apart from the bile secretion, not only the secretion of the bile salts, bile pigments. Okay, you know bile salts and bile pigments, sodium bilirubin, biliverdin, sodium chloride, sodium deoxycholate, helpful for the fat digestion, emulsification, right? But here, apart from the bile secretion, the liver also performs several functions. What are the several functions? The liver helpful for the destroying, aging and defective blood cells. So liver helpful for the destroying and aging and defective blood cells. It's destroying, aging and defective blood cells. So destroying, aging, defective blood cells, and stores the glucose in the form of glycogen. So it stores the glucose in the form of glycogen and disperses glucose into the blood. So it stores the glucose and disperses glucose into the blood stream with the help of pancreatic hormone. So what is that? It stores the glucose in the form of glycogen and disperses glucose into the bloodstream with the help of which one? Pancreatic hormones. Next, stores the fat soluble vitamins and irons, stores the fat soluble vitamins and irons, and detoxification. Suppose any toxic food we ate, that food, toxic food, detoxification will be takes place in the liver, and also it is helpful for the synthesis of non-essential amino acids and urine, non-essential amino acids and urea, not urine, urea, non-essential amino acids, urea. So these are all the points you should have to remember. Okay children, what we discussed? We discussed about the liver. Once again, should listen carefully children. Liver is the largest gland. Liver is the largest gland. It's upper right side of the abdominal cavity. Liver is the largest gland. It is located upper right side of the abdominal cavity, just below the diaphragm. Just below the diaphragm. The two major left and right lobes, two minor lobes are present in the liver. Okay, two major left and right lobes, two minor left and right lobes are present. These lobes are connected with the diaphragm. Diaphragm, you know very well. Each lobe is many hepatic. Each lobe have again many hepatic lobules. So the function, these hepatic lobules only functional unit of the liver. The hepatic lobules only called functional units of the liver, and each lobules covered by a thin connective tissue sheath called what you called Glissen's capsule. What do you call this is Glissen's capsule. The lobes are connected by a connective tissue sheath that is called Glissen capsules. What do you call Glissen capsule? There are hepatic cells are there in the liver that secretes the bile. Bile contains bile salts and bile pigments like bilirubin, biliverdin, folate, sodium cholates, like that salts also there. This bile stored and concentrated in a thin muscular sac. Okay, the bile stored in the which one? The thin muscular sac. What is that thin muscular sac is called gallbladder. What is called? That is gallbladder. So the duct of gallbladder is a cystic duct along with the hepatic duct. The duct of gallbladder, cystic duct along with the hepatic duct form the liver forms the from the liver forms the common bile duct. So cystic duct from the gallbladder, hepatic duct from the liver, both together forms the common bile duct. So common bile duct passes downwards and joins with the main pancreatic duct. Okay, gallbladder duct, liver duct, common bile duct. Common bile duct joins with the pancreatic duct to form a common duct called what one? Hepatopancreatic duct, which opens into the duodenum. It's guarded by which one? The sphincter of Hardy. What do you call that sphincter? Where the hepatopancreatic duct open into the duodenum, there one sphincter will be there. That sphincter name is called sphincter of Hardy. So liver has highest power. The liver has highest power of regeneration, and liver cells are replaced by new ones every 3 to 4 weeks. Apart from bile secretion, the liver also performs several functions. What are that? Destroying aging and defective blood cells, stores the glucose in the form of glycogen, and disperses glucose into the bloodstream with the help of pancreatic hormones, stores fat soluble vitamins and irons, and any toxic material we take, detoxification of the toxic, and synthesis of non-essential amino acids and urea also major functions of several functions of which one? The liver. Okay, good morning children. Today we are going to discuss about another gland. What is that gland? Pancreas. Pancreas is the second largest gland. What is the pancreas? We discussed about liver, right? The next one is pancreas. The pancreas is the second largest gland and yellow colored compound. Which colored compound that is? Yellow colored compound. And most important thing is it is also secrete juice that is called pancreatic juice. Okay, that is called pancreatic juice, which is yellow colored compound, elongated organ consisting of endocrine and exocrine and endocrine cells. So that's why both are there, exocrine and endocrine. That's why pancreas is a mixed gland. What is called? Mixed gland. Pancreas is called mixed gland. Why? Because it consists of what is called exocrine gland and endocrine glands. What is exocrine? What is endocrine? Exocrine secretes the enzymes. Endocrine secretes the hormones. So enzymes and hormones both are secreting this in this place. That's why pancreas is called mixed gland or endocrine gland. So now second largest gland, yellow colored compound, elongated organ, compound elongated organ. Okay, colored compound elongated organ consisting of exocrine endocrine cells. It is situated below the limbs. Situated which one? Below the limbs. This is the between the limbs. Between the limbs. It is situated between the limbs of the U-shaped duodenum. This is a very important. Limbs are there. Now U-shaped between the limbs of the U-shaped duodenum. So the exocrine portion secretes. So exocrine portion is there or not? The exocrine portion of pancreas secretes pancreatic amylases, trypsin, pancreatic lipases, and the endocrine gland, islets of Langerhans secretes hormones, insulin, glucagon. Insulin and glucagon once again. So it is situated between the limbs of the U-shaped duodenum. Next, the exocrine portion secretes the pancreatic amylase, trypsin, pancreatic lipase, and the endocrine part called islets of Langerhans secretes the hormones, important, insulin and glucagon. So pancreatic duct directly open to the duodenum. Pancreatic duct directly open into the which one? The duodenum. So the digestion of food and the role of digestive enzymes also. So digestion part of the pancreatic juice helpful for the digestion of the food by this help of this amylase, trypsin and pancreatic lipase. They digest the food materials. Next, some role of enzymes also we will discuss in this concept. Once again children, the pancreas second largest gland. Pancreas is the second largest gland. It's a mixed gland or heterocrine gland. Why? Because it contains endo and exocrine parts. So it's yellow colored part and it's a compound elongated organ consisting of yellow colored compound elongated organ consisting of what is called? Consisting of exocrine and endocrine cells. It is situated between the limbs of the U-shaped duodenum. So the exocrine portion secretes the pancreatic amylase, trypsin, pancreatic lipase, and the endocrine part. Endo means ductless, exo means duct. But here the endocrine part is there called islets of Langerhans, secretes the hormones. Insulin converts the glucose to glycogen. Glucagon converts the glycogen to glucose. Deficiency of insulin leads to diabetes mellitus. You know very well. So the pancreatic duct opens into the directly open into the duodenum. The pancreatic duct directly open into the duodenum. So islets of Langerhans, how many types? You know very well, alpha cells, beta cells, gamma cells, delta cells, like that will be there. That one we will discuss. But here mostly what insulin and glucagon from alpha and beta cells. Alpha cell secretes glucagon, beta cell secretes insulin, islets of Langerhans, which are helpful for the conversion of glucose to glycogen and glycogen to glucose. Insulin converts the glucose to glycogen. Glucagon converts the glycogen to glucose. So insulin is called hypoglycemic hormone. Glucagon is called hyperglycemic hormone. So next, the pancreatic duct directly open into the which one? Duodenum. Pancreatic duct directly open into the duodenum. Next, digestion of food and role of digestive enzymes. So first, when you take the solid food, it is converted into absorbable and assimilable, means it will utilize it by the cells. Assimilable forms. Okay, how that convert into absorbable into assimilable forms? By the mechanical and chemical digestion only. So solid food is converting into simple, absorbable and assimilable. Okay, assimilable forms. So mechanical and chemical process. What is a mechanical? By chewing, grinding, mixing. That is a mechanical. Chemical means by using enzymes, you know very well, control is conversion the complex to simple, absorbable, assimilable form. These are digestion is two process, mechanical and chemical processes. Digestion in the buccal cavity. So smell, by seeing the smell of the by feeling the smell of the food, by seeing the food, by taste the food, automatically what will happen? Mechanical stimulation of food will be takes place in the mouth, that leads to reflex action and secretes the saliva. You know very well, reflex action, it secretes the saliva. You smelled it, it secretes the saliva. You sight, you saw the food, delicious food, it secretes the saliva. You taste it, secretes the saliva. So it's a mechanical stimulation of a food. What will happen? You know very well, in the mouth triggers the mechanical stimulation of food in the mouth triggers which one? It triggers which one? Reflex action, secretion of saliva. So what is a mechanical process? Mechanical digestion starts in the mouth by grinding, chewing. Mechanical digestion how? By grinding and chewing. By grinding and chewing of food. What you call the grinding and chewing of food is called, what do you call that process called? Mastification. What do you call that process? Mastication. So grinding and chewing of food is called mastication. The saliva consists of, you know, saliva is there in the mouth. The saliva contains the water. What is the composition of saliva? Come on, tell us some composition of saliva. Water, electrolytes, sodium, potassium, chloride, hydrocarbons, like that, bicarbonates. Okay, these all are present in the saliva. And salivary amylase, very important. Ptyalin converts the digest the starch. Okay, starch digestion will be takes place by the salivary amylase. Okay, so maltose, sucrose, lactose, such kind of starch convert into what you call maltose, sucrose, like that compounds. Next, lysozyme is there. Lysozyme is the most important. The lysozyme is a very important, you know, antibacterial enzyme which kills the bacteria. Antibacterial enzyme which kills the bacteria. So next, there also mucus is there. It's a lubricating agent, glycoprotein. Mucus importance what? So mucus is helpful for the, what do you call, the bolus formation, means what they will do. So very important one, which is helpful for the moistening and softening and lubricating the masticated food into a bolus. You know very well, regarding the masticated food, that mucus forms the bolus. Okay, children, observe very carefully. The pancreas we discussed, second largest gland. Pancreas is the second largest gland and yellow colored compound elongated organ consisting of exocrine and endocrine cells. It is situated between the limbs of the U-shaped duodenum. The exocrine portion secretes the pancreatic amylase, trypsin 1, amylase 2, trypsin, pancreatic lipase, and other, and the endocrine part called islets of Langerhans secretes the hormones insulin, glucagon, and the pancreatic duct open directly to the duodenum. So duodenum. Next, digestion of food and role of digestive enzymes. Next concept is digestion of food and role of digestive enzymes. Now, solid food should have to convert into simple, soluble, absorbable, and assimilable forms. Okay. So how? Because by the help of mechanical and chemical process of digestion. So digestion in the buccal cavity. First, where the digestion will be start. The digestion will be start in the buccal cavity. So first, when you see the smell and sight and taste of the food, mechanical stimulation of food in the mouth triggers the reflex action to secrete the saliva. What is a mechanical digestion? Grinding and chewing. Grinding and chewing is called mastication. In saliva, what is there? It triggers the saliva now. The saliva consists of water, electrolytes like sodium, potassium, chloride, bicarbonates. Okay, sodium bicarbonates. Okay, like that. What you called electrolytes are present. So salivary amylase, what you called taline. What you called salivary amylase. The another name is called taline. It converts the very important the salivary amylase. It converts the starch. Okay, starch to simple compound. Okay, that is a most important point to remember. It converts the starch. Starch is very what you call the complex food material. So what it will do, it converts the starch to maltose. What you call it? Converts the starch into what you call maltose. Starch to maltose. So the salivary amylase converts the starch into maltose. Where the starch is there? In our food, starch is there. Next, lysozyme. Lysozyme is also there in the saliva. It's an antibacterial activity, kills the germs. Very good for us. Next, mucus is secretion. Mucus secretion is there. Lubricating, okay, and lubricating agent mucus is there. Glycoprotein is there. The mucus in saliva prepares the food. So mucus is there in the saliva. It's a glycoprotein lubricating agent. It's prepare the food. Okay, for swallowing. Prepare the food swallowing by what you call moistening, softening, lubricating, and adhering the masticated food. Bolus will be formed. So prepares the food for swallowing by the mucus and glycoproteins. Okay, children, bolus formation will be seen. Next points we will discuss in the next class. Thank you, children.